If you're trying to decide between cybersecurity and cloud security as a career path, you're asking exactly the right question. Both fields are in serious demand. Both pay well above six figures in most markets, and both are only becoming more critical as organizations build more of their operations in the cloud and the threats targeting those environments grow more sophisticated. But they are different careers, different day-to-day work, different skill sets, different certifications, different types of problems you spend your time solving. And most of the content out there comparing them treats the decision like it's just about salary or job availability. And it's not. It's about which type of work you're actually built for. I've been working in Azure environments professionally for several years, operating across cloud engineering and cloud security, and coaching IT professionals through career transitions in both fields. In this video, I'm going to break down what each role actually involves, where they overlap, and how to decide which one fits you, and the exact certification pathway I would take to break into each one. Let's get into it. What cybersecurity actually is. Cybersecurity is the broader discipline. It covers the protection of systems, networks, applications, and data across every environment. On-premise, cloud, hybrid, mobile, everything. If there's a digital asset and it can be attacked, cybersecurity is concerned with defending it. But I want to give you a more grounded picture of what this actually looks like in practice. Because the textbook definition doesn't tell you much about whether you would enjoy the work. Think of a cybersecurity professional as a digital investigator. Your day starts with alerts. Someone logged in from an unusual location. A database is exporting data at an unusual time. A system is communicating with an external IP address it has never contacted before. Your job is to determine in real time, is this a false positive? Or is something actually happening right now? The core of the work is pattern recognition, threat analysis, and response. You're constantly asking, what does this behavior mean? What is the likely intent behind it? And what do I do about it in the next 60 seconds? The CIA triad sits at the center of everything you do. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Every security decision maps back to one or more of those three. Confidentiality means only the right people can access the right information. Integrity means data is accurate and has not been tampered with. Availability means systems are accessible when the people who need them need them. These three objectives are constantly in tension. Making a system more available sometimes introduces confidentiality risk. Locking something down so tightly that availability suffers defeats the purpose. A cybersecurity professional navigates those trade-offs every day. The threats you're defending against include malware, ransomware, phishing attacks, denial of service, credential theft, and social engineering. And increasingly, those attacks are being executed with AI assistance, making them faster, more targeted, and harder to detect using traditional methods. The attackers are using the same tools that defenders are starting to adopt, which means the baseline competency required to operate in this field keeps rising. The most common entry point into cybersecurity is a SOC analyst role. Security Operations Center. This is where you're monitoring environments, triaging alerts, investigating incidents, and escalating what you cannot resolve. It's fast-paced, high-pressure work that rewards people who think clearly under urgency and who have genuine curiosity about how attackers operate. The SOC is where most cybersecurity careers begin, and it's the role this pathway is designed to get you into. What cloud security actually is. Cloud security is a specialization within the broader cybersecurity discipline, but in practice, it's a fundamentally different kind of role, and it attracts a different type of engineer. Where a cybersecurity professional spends their time detecting and responding to threats, a cloud security engineer spends their time designing environments where threats have less room to operate. The work is architectural. You're not primarily reacting to incidents. You're building the guardrails that determine what can and cannot happen inside a cloud environment. When an organization moves workloads to Azure, someone has to define the identity model. Who can access what? Under what conditions? With what level of privilege? Someone has to design the network boundaries. When traffic is allowed between services, what gets exposed to the internet? What stays completely private? Someone has to configure the policy layer, the automated rules that prevent misconfigured resources from being deployed into production before they become a vulnerability. That is cloud security engineering. The shared responsibility model is central to this work. Microsoft secures the underlying Azure infrastructure. Your organization is responsible for everything built on top of it. The identity identity configuration, the network design, the data classification, the access controls, the compliance posture. Cloud security owns that responsibility and builds the systems that enforce it. The challenges in this space are distinct from traditional security. Misconfigurations are the number one cause of cloud breaches, not sophisticated attacks. A storage account with public access enabled, an overprivileged service principal, a virtual machine with a public IP and no network security group. Cloud security engineers build environments where those mistakes can't happen, or where they're detected and remediated automatically before they cause damage. How they overlap and how they differ. Both fields share a foundation: understanding how threats work, how attackers move through systems, and how to classify and protect sensitive data, and how to design layered defenses. These principles apply in both roles. A strong understanding of networking, identity and access management, encryption, and compliance frameworks is relevant to whether you end up in a SOC or designing cloud security architecture. But the day-to-day work diverges significantly. Cybersecurity, and specifically SOC work, is reactive and investigative. You're monitoring, detecting, and responding. The work is alert-driven. The pace is high. The satisfaction comes from catching something before it becomes a breach. There is a pressure to do this work that some people thrive on and others find draining over time. If you like the feeling of solving a problem before it causes damage, and you can operate clearly when the clock is running, this environment suits you. Cloud security is proactive and architectural. You're designing, configuring, and enforcing. The work is policy and infrastructure driven. The pace is more deliberate. The satisfaction comes from building an environment that is genuinely difficult to compromise in the first place. The pressure here is different. It's the pressure of getting the design right before something goes wrong, not the pressure of responding after it already has. If you enjoy detective work, pattern recognition, threat hunting, incident investigation, cybersecurity is probably the better fit. If you enjoy engineering, designing systems, automating controls, building infrastructure that enforces rules, cloud security is probably the better fit. The skill overlap means you don't have to choose permanently. Many engineers move between the two areas across their careers, but understanding which one you're walking into first determines which certifications and skills to prioritize. If your goal is to break into cybersecurity through a SOC analyst role, here's the exact pathway I would follow. Step 1, CompTIA Security Plus. Security Plus is the right starting point for anyone entering cybersecurity, regardless of their background. It covers the threat landscape, cryptography fundamentals, network security concepts, identity and access management, and the security frameworks that shape how organizations operate. It's vendor neutral, which means everything it teaches you applies across every platform and every environment. It gives you the conceptual foundation that everything else builds on. The study time is 3 to 4 weeks. The exam costs around $392. Step 2, AZ-104, Azure Administrator Associate. This is where most SOC analyst roadmaps go completely off track. Most people jump straight from Security Plus into a tool or a more advanced security certification. What they miss is that the theory Security Plus teaches you needs somewhere to live. You need a real cloud environment to actually implement what you learned, to see what a misconfigured network security group looks like, to understand how identity and access management works in a real platform, to observe how logging and monitoring surfaces the kind of anomalies you'll be chasing in a SOC role. The AZ-104 gives you that environment. It teaches you how Azure actually operates, the networking model, the identity layer, the resource structure. And critically, once you have the AZ-104, you can build cloud-native labs in Azure to practice everything that comes next. The study time is 4 weeks. The exam costs $165. Step 3, Splunk Core Certified User. Splunk is one of the most widely deployed SIEM platforms in the world. It's used in on-premise environments, in cloud environments, and hybrid environments, which means the skill transfers regardless of where you end up working. Unlike certifications tied to a single vendor's platform, Splunk proficiency is genuinely portable. The core certification teaches you how to search and navigate data in Splunk, how to build dashboards and reports, and how to use Splunk's query language, SPL, search processing language, to surface meaningful patterns from log data. This is the practical skill that SOC analysts use every day to investigate alerts. And because now you have Azure from AZ-104, you can go build your own lab environment, ingest real Azure logs into Splunk, and practice against data that actually looks like what you'll be seeing in a production SOC. You're not practicing on synthetic sample data. You're practicing on real infrastructure logs from an environment you built and control. That hands-on experience is what separates candidates who get hired from candidates who just have the certification. Step 4, Splunk Power User. Power User builds on core by teaching you how to create more advanced searches, build correlation rules, develop custom dashboards, and deepen the analytical capability that moves you from alert triage into genuine threat investigation. At this point, you have your security fundamentals, real cloud platform knowledge, and demonstrated SIEM proficiency at both the operational and analytical level. That combination is exactly what SOC analyst job descriptions are asking for right now, and very few entry-level candidates can demonstrate all of it. If your goal is a cloud security engineering role, not SOC analysis, but building and owning the security architecture of an Azure environment, the pathway looks different. Step 1, CompTIA Security Plus. The reasoning is the same. You can't design security architecture for cloud environments without understanding what you're defending against. Security Plus gives you that threat landscape foundation. Step 2, AZ-104. Again, the same reasoning applies, and it applies even more forcefully here. You can't secure a platform you don't understand. An engineer who goes straight into cloud security certifications without genuine platform knowledge ends up learning security controls in the abstract. They know what Azure policy is. They can't tell you why a particular policy configuration would create an operational problem or how to interact with the network design choices made earlier in the deployment. AZ-104 eliminates that gap. It builds the platform fluency that makes every security decision you make after it more grounded and more practical. Step 3, AZ-500, Azure Security Engineer Associate. This is where you go deep on Azure native security. Microsoft Defender for Cloud, unified security posture management across your entire Azure estate. Microsoft Sentinel, Azure's cloud-native SIEM and SOAR platform, which pulls security data from across your environment, correlates it using AI-driven analytics, and automates response workflows. Azure Key Vault, centralized secrets management, certificate handling, and encryption key lifecycle. Entra ID security, conditional access, privileged identity management, identity protection, and the controls that determine who can do what inside your environment. Network security, how to design and enforce boundaries using Azure Firewall, Private Link, DDoS protection, and network security groups that actually reflect a zero trust model. AZ-500 teaches you to operate all of these at the level required for a security engineering role. Study time is 4 weeks. The exam costs $165. Step 4, AZ-305, Azure Solutions Architect Expert. I want to be direct about why this comes last and why it belongs on this pathway at all. A cloud security engineer who cannot think architecturally is limited in how far they can advance. Security decisions do not live in isolation. They affect how applications are designed, how data flows between the services, how infrastructure is provisioned, and how much the whole thing costs to run. AZ-305 gives you the architectural context to make security recommendations that the rest of the organization can actually implement, recommendations that are technically sound, operationally feasible, and economically defensible. It's the certification that moves you from executing security controls into designing the environments those controls protect. Study time is 6 to 8 weeks. This exam costs $165 and requires the AZ-104 as a prerequisite. 2 paths. 2 different roles, 1 shared foundation. If you want to break into a SOC analyst role, Security Plus, AZ-104, Splunk Core, Splunk Power User. Fundamentals first, cloud platform second, then the SIEM tool that the SOC teams are running every day. If you want to break into cloud security engineering, Security Plus, AZ-104, AZ-500, AZ-305. Fundamentals first, platform knowledge second, Azure security depth third, architectural thinking fourth. Both pathways share the same underlying logic, and I want to make sure this lands clearly because it's the part most roadmaps get wrong. You cannot effectively specialize in something you do not first understand broadly. A cybersecurity professional who doesn't understand how cloud platforms are structured is limited in how well they can defend cloud environments. A cloud security engineer who skipped the foundational security concepts is enforcing controls they don't fully understand, which means they can't reason about edge cases, can't explain their decisions to stakeholders, and cannot adapt when something unexpected happens. Security Plus gives you the security mindset. AZ-104 gives you the cloud platform foundation. Everything that follows is specialization built on top of that base. The engineers who skip the foundation and go straight to the specialization end up with credentials they can't fully apply. The context that makes those credentials meaningful was never fully built. Do not make that mistake. Build the base deliberately, then go deep. I've linked some resources in the description to help you get started on whichever path fits where you're headed. If you want to walk either of these paths alongside engineers who are already doing the same work, the link in the description will take you to our free community. As always, see you in the next one.